Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here. Get ready for Gnosis. Well, I'm the world-renowned expert on radionics without a question. Nobody else comes close to me, including anything to do with subtle energy physics, which I'm renaming Soul Force to give it the real proper name, because there's nothing subtle about subtle energy physics and using the energies of creation. Now, it's been brought to my attention. I'm the author of 35 books. I have a degree in occult sciences, a degree in subtle energy physics, a doctorate in both. I've written 5 courses, 35 books, and it goes on and on and on as the world expert. I've been in the business for 40 years, manufacturing, researching, etc. No one else does anything like I do. They have no educational background. They do nothing but sell products, and bad, faulty, and oftentimes dangerous. Most of them are just plain rip-offs. And what I try and do is inform everybody. I'm extremely fair. If someone's doing something good, I'll let you know about it. If they're doing something bad, I'll let you know about that as well. Unfortunately, there are no credible products out there except for the ones that I manufacture. That's why I manufacture them. I would love to buy other people's stuff. It's junk. Some of it is dangerous. We're getting back to that right now. And here's some of this dangerous garbage taken from the head Satanist who made it, Karl Hans Deadboy Welts, who produced really garbage stuff and who's allegedly been working with organized crime and other people for over 20 years, who took his basically garbage technology and pushed him into the media. Others are doing this now. Copycats and so forth are out there. People like Josh Warren, who's been copying me for the last 40 years, who produces a bunch of garbage. And, of course, these people are allegedly hooked up to organized crime. And, of course, we know they're hooked up to Satanists. So if you want stuff from Satanists, if you think that's okay, and apparently some people do, but here's the results, baby. Poison. And I just got a report today from someone else who just checked his orgonite products that he's had for many years. And the bottom line is that he found out, personally, the negative energy that they put out. This is very easy to do. All you really need is a pendulum. If you can't use a pendulum, you shouldn't be in radionics to begin with. Plain and simple. You should also understand how to check energy fields and do all the very important things that you need to check all the products out there. Because the problem is the products you're getting are getting from delusional people who are basically in it only for the money. They don't know what they're doing. If they think personally their products are good, they like the results they get based on fantasy, based on mythology, based on the lies of the people they bought it from. And do they test anything? Does anybody test anything? Now, Karl Welts was putting out highly toxic stuff for 30 years. And you know, all your people that bought his lies and continue to do it, and some of those radionic people who have supported him, and of course, you would never mention me, because you're the little feces of ignorant stupidity and Satanism. So you align yourselves with like aligns with like. Stink is with stink. So the whole idea is that, and we have this, which is coming to the forefront yet again from a top radionic writer who apparently is a Satanist, who's tied himself in with the Parcells program with other Satanists and ignorant, money-grabbing, basically evil people. And I'll be covering that yet again here. I have a lot that I'm going to be reposting that I took down so I could rephrase them and add information to it, which I'm going to be putting back up. It is important to know what's happening in an industry, what's good, what's bad, whether this is nutrition, medical, science, whatever it is. And the bottom line is that people just don't understand what's going on. They don't have 50 years of professional research behind them. They have not been in the subtle physics industry. They have no background whatsoever except the fact that they're a user. And some of them are manufacturers who know nothing about anybody else's products. Some won't even give you the price of their products. Call me up and I'll see what I can steal from you with my box of semi-computerized crap. So the whole idea is we have all that, and we have a history of these products failing and the people that were instructors and so forth dying of cancer, yet their great machines couldn't do that. Couldn't help an instructor who used the SE5 died of cancer, a fairly young woman. So here we go again. Or Peter Kelly, who screams for money to take his wife to doctors because she has breast cancer, while he's sitting there telling everybody how wonderful his Hieronymus machines are. We have to get to the facts. If we expect to get anywhere, we can't buy into delusional fantasies and say this works, or when we need to find out what does work and apply it, because there's no other direction to go but in the alternative. So all you've got to do to check your stuff is get a pendulum, you hold it over. You ask, is this positive, negative, or neutral? Now, negative is counterclockwise. You can see this is going counterclockwise pretty strong. Counterclockwise is negative, or it is basically by being negative, meaning it has bad energy. Plain and simple as that. Nothing checks out counterclockwise that is good. It doesn't matter what it is. I've tested everything. You want to test drain cleaner, cleaners in general, anything toxic, always 100% of the time, without fail, spins counterclockwise. It's as simple as that. Anything that's good, vitamins, supplements, it doesn't matter what it is, radionic machines that are built properly, all spin clockwise. It's as simple as that. It's not complicated, people. Check it out yourself. Now, I just heard from a guy who had a bunch of this stuff for years. I think he said he had it for 8 years. He had a whole bunch of different of this fraudulent junk orgone. I'm not sure who made it, but it doesn't matter. I can't find orgone that is positive in general. I find some orgone that is neutral and it has very little energy, or at least what they call orgone, which really isn't. And I've covered that before. Orgone was a very specially made type of accumulator by Wilhelm Reich, who discovered this accumulation. And there's nothing like anything that's on the market today. So, and there's a big confusion of what it was in general. But the bottom line is that these are not orgone. These are a bunch of goofy stuff perpetrated by the great Satanist Karl Hans Welz and his buddy, his good friend, John McDonald, who's taken over his company in Georgia and is selling the same toxic garbage. So beware, people. This stuff has never done anything and never will. Wells died in his middle 70s. His wife died at 71. It's a miracle. Yeah, it makes you strong and wonderful. All those fake testimonials he has from all his loser satanic friends. And God knows what he was really up to as a hardcore Satanist that he's been all the time. And that's why I threw him out of my organization 30 years ago, Wells, when I found out what he did. And he tried to cause all sorts of problems, being the evil, basically coming from a very negative Austrian satanic Nazi background. So the whole idea, and his entire family, of course, has all that same nonsense going on. Now, his little compatriot, McDonald, who was sent in there with money and support to help Wells, who really knew nothing, is now perpetrating the same garbage, dangerous energies. This is also picked up by other people out there as well who are dangerous. They're connected to organizations that are completely evil and working for criminals and Satanists. These organizations portray themselves as some sort of associations, etc. And it is really sad what's going on there. The bottom line is the only credible products out there are the products that I manufacture. Now, and talk about, and if you want something checked, I'm more than happy you can send me a photograph and I can check it, but check it yourself. You know, I'm under the great opinion that people think that because I don't dislike orgone. I think that orgone, the way Wilhelm Reich used it, was quite fascinating. And I think it needs a lot more work. I'm not sure it was the miracle stuff that a lot of people think Wilhelm Reich did. I'm not sure what he was able to do or not do. He was persecuted for making medical claims and treating people for cancer, which happened to Ruth Drown, happens to a whole bunch of people. From what I understand, there's even people in prison for treating people with herbs. So the whole idea that got long sentences for treating illnesses, which of course is illegal to do. So we really have to wonder what's going on with all of this. So it's a big mishmash. And why is it so problematic? is it such a big deal? Why are there so many people coming into it to destroy the industry and to lead you in the wrong direction? Because it is potent and they fear what this technology can actually do. So they give you trash. This again was person Don Croft, who is a Satanist or was a Satanist in Hans Wells' pocket. They two worked together. He put out complete and total garbage, as his organization continues to do, putting out the worst garbage out there that does absolutely nothing at high prices and thinks he can stop cell phone towers by throwing a little ball of stuff out there. I mean, this kind of ignoramus stuff that's out there by nasty people who are diverting all the good energies away from producing something is really sad. But this is the story of the world, people. And of course, anybody who really knows anything will be at the very least marginalized, where you just don't get the attention, you just don't get the following. But who cares? Truth is truth, baby. Gnosis is gnosis. And you can turn away, you can work for the crumbs, all you paid-off criminals out there that get your training in Texas by the millions, and in all the other hotbeds of stupid scum buckets. There's good people in Texas like everywhere, but the fact is that's where the criminal training grounds are. So the whole idea, and other places, and there are hotbeds of places, and particularly, of course, the hotbed of the South in general. They have a long history of their ignorant persecution and torture of others. So they brought that into all the fields. So we have a real problem here that we need to fully understand. Orgone and orgonite in particular is a very toxic energy. It's very easily proven. If you have any of these tools, get rid of them. I recently threw out I had some Orgone I bought them because they were attractive, and they didn't have negative energy in it, but they didn't produce really any energy of value. I've showed these in different videos in the past. I've just chucked all that stuff myself. I have too much stuff and I have to get rid of it anyway, but you don't need stuff that is pretty. You don't need stuff that is neutral. You don't need stuff that has low energy. You need to use stuff that is effective. We're in tough, terrible times. People need to empower themselves to the highest level, and using these goofy little toxic plastic things that emit gases in your environment, filled with a bunch of stones and a little bit of metals and other things in there, is something you don't need. It's a waste of money. Invest in good products. Invest in a good system. Invest in all the software you need to get results in life. And you're not going to get that anywhere else except at Radionic Tech. So remember that. Stay with it. And here again, I always love to get third-party verifications. So you'll see at the opening of this particular, or the actual little I forget what they call that, the little image that you have before clicking on this, of what some of the toxic orgone looked like. And again, the fact that you are unknowing, you can't commit an illegal act and say, well, I didn't know it was illegal, and have that carry any weight in court. The bottom line, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how to check stuff, you haven't looked up the long, horrible history of Magitech and Karl Hans Welsh and his whole cohort of Satanists, and self-avowed, by the way. John McDonnell doesn't hide behind the fact that he's a Satanist. He states it out there. So does all the rest of the people that are connected with this. Welch tried to hide for a while, but had a giant ad, and the organization, blackmagic.com, which has been passed on to who knows what cretins there, who have a Los Angeles now number. God knows what they're into and what evil they're with and how they're supported by those people out there. There's certainly lots of them, and you're going to find that almost all of the radionic community, except me, are all hardcore Satanists and evil people. I can't find a single credible person in the radionic industry. There's all problems with them. It's as transparent as you can possibly get. They put on frauds and liars, an organization run by a high school gym teacher who claims he knows something. These kind of things are just frightening with their incompetencies. And they had the usual government stooges in there, some idiot who got his name put on a certificate from MIT, Moron Institute of Technology. We're the dumbest in the world. See, right here, I got a certificate. So the whole idea is we have all these stooges out there that have done nothing. nothing. And we have to be very, very cognizant of that fact. So, be careful what you get into. And anything that you buy, you check it out with a pendulum. Is it spinning clockwise? Good. Counterclockwise? Bad. Neutral? No energy at all. And I find a lot of things that are neutral because there's just nothing happening there. Do you want a neutral when you start your car? Do you put it in neutral and get to the store? I don't think so, Dr. Thor. Don't move. Well, is that a car that you want? Well, it doesn't hurt you. It just doesn't do anything. If it doesn't do anything, it's really hurting you. So a neutral, in general, has to be looked at carefully by an expert to ascertain whether that is good or bad for that particular product. In general, it means the product is not good. If anything spins counterclockwise, it is bad. Now, I'm going to have a little mini course on this that I'm going to be offering out there and some special discs to help you. And, of course, you want to clear everything out. Clearing your products, clearing everything out, your machines, whatever you're using, your watches, your healing bands, like this, your Tesla watches, all this stuff you need to clear out. And that's why all of our new systems are systems. We just don't sell the watches. We sell you a system to clear it out and power it, etc. This is another great breakthrough only done by me. So the whole idea is that that's the team you need to be on for your own sake. So if you have any kind of Orgone, orgonite, or anybody who's living in that fantasy world because they're ignorant buffoons, you should probably just throw it out. You're not going to find any positive. You're not going to find anything that has any strong, good energy, period. And the people that jumped on that cart are people that are stooges. They know nothing. And they're just taking your money, and it's as simple as that. So, and here, as I said, this is the authentic stuff right out of Carl Weltz's machines. Just complete garbage in terms of the negativity that it puts out. And, of course, like everything else he did and achieved absolutely nothing, and the garbage machines he built with his really mediocre mind and creativeness, because Satanists never have any creativity. Just boring boxes, plastic boxes with dials on it. That's it. You open them up, there's virtually nothing of value inside of them other than this crap, which makes sure he toxified you and led you to Satan. And that's your reward for spending thousands of dollars on his garbage technology, which you can find all over the net of people selling them because they don't work. So the whole idea is it's the same old story. They're garbage technology. They're dangerous. And as someone has left a little comment on one of my videos that he found that he didn't have any problems with it, it just didn't work. Hey, baby, wait a little while. It ain't over, and you probably got it in your house. So when you get all sorts of cancers, and when you have problems, and when you commit suicide, and you get to see Satan's face when you're in hell, tell me nothing happened. Until next time.